Alright friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. So I came out today and we got a problem. Squirrel problem. Eating the passion fruit. So this is a problem here in Central Florida. We often have a lot of squirrels. There's just mass abundance of squirrels. And you know, you gotta do what you gotta do if you plan on keeping a garden. So it's a terrible thing. I know people are like, make sure that you have plenty for the wildlife, and that's true. But there is literally an overabundance. Squirrels will get into your home, up in your roof, and they will start making nests, and there's all kinds of craziness. So there's humane ways of trapping them and moving them to a different area for more wildlife, environmental friendly fun for them. So that's the plan, is to hopefully get them to move along and go to a better place for them. So anyway, I also wanted to tell you guys, I hope that you are enjoying time with family. This is a time for being humble and remembering our Savior, so the living God, right, who died on the cross for us. So I just want to have my little speech about that real quick. But I am out in the garden because the garden, it never stops. You've got to stand on top of it or it will get wild and crazy, and that is kind of what's happening, which is a good thing. It's a blessing for it to be wild and crazy. And I started catching myself doing something, and I was like, oh, you know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna eat them all, and then you guys are gonna be like, oh, sure you had green beans. All right, so we have green beans. If y'all have watched my channel for a period of time, you will know that I love to just eat raw green beans. That is just like one of my favorite things to do, is just come out in the garden, grab a couple tomatoes off the bush, which we have plenty of tomatoes. Our tomato plant is still over here going crazy. I've got one over here in this area, and it's just so nice to come out here and just look. I mean, there's just abundance in the garden. You can see all my cabbages over here in this area. Everything's doing good. I've got squash coming up over in the back bed. There are potatoes in the back bed. They seem to be doing well, and my nasturtium are still over here hanging out. These nasturtiums here are absolutely just going crazy, so we've got a lot there. And I dropped some seeds, and down here, this is actually basil. There's basil all popping up on the ground. That's actually basil. There's basil there. So the garden is doing good. In here, which y'all really can't see very well, here's the outline of it. I've got broccoli. There are no heads on the broccoli right now, but remember, you can eat broccoli greens, friends. So keep yourself healthy, keep yourself well. I did a green juice this morning. We've always got to be doing our green juice. I've got a rogue tomato. It just came up on its own. I'm gonna need to get a cage and put a cage in there. Here is more basil. This whole little area is full of basil. There's an onion over here. So I'm standing in the shadow, but there's an onion. There's more basil. This is my rosemary. It's doing just fine. But the star of the show today are the green beans. So underneath here, we have lots of beautiful green beans. I will just come out here and eat them absolutely raw. There's a bunch underneath there. This one was like laying in the dirt. They're up in there. I've got a whole bed that's coming up with them. And then, yes, friends, indeed, we have squash. I have tried not to mess with these squash too much, just because, and you can see a lot of buds are coming up, but just because the more you mess with it, the more the scent gets displayed, and the bugs will come in. But you can see over here, there's tiny little squash coming up. There's little ants and stuff all in there. I've got a lot of buds. The leaves look beautiful. The leaves look really fairly well. I'm starting to get a little powdery mildew on this one. I can go in and just clip it close to the stem, but the rest of the leaves are looking great. I want to get that powder mildew off, that's for sure. Down here, I still have some bitter melon. It's, friends, once you put bitter melon in your garden, no matter how hard you try, I swear to you, somehow it finds a way to keep coming back in the garden. So at this point, I'm just gonna let it grow, and I am hoping that I can find a way of maybe enjoying it a little more than I have been, because I've tried to make it like you gotta do a certain process to it, and you gotta kind of pull that little bit of bitterness out of it. And I've tried everything, and it's so bitter. It's so hard for me to eat. I know your bitters are really good for you. They bring in like good flavor or good energy for your body, but they do not have good flavor. So, and that's probably hence why they're called bitter melons. So let's enjoy a green bean. I love those green beans, man. So good. I just come out here and just eat them. So good. I love them. Sweet too. I do need to lime these beds again, so the next rotation I'll be putting some lime down. But right now, with the nasturtiums growing like they're just so beautiful, I can't pull them out yet. I was going to over here in this bed. I still got to knock that bed out over here. It's looking ratty. That's actually on my plans for today, is to be knocking the bed out. But we were supposed to have the boys over this weekend, and what ended up happening was norovirus hit their home. So I got a video I'm gonna be posting for you guys. I just made it, but I'm gonna be posting that. I need to render it and get it out for you all on some things that you can be doing to enhance your body, to make sure that you're building yourself up for your health, because you just never know when some funky virus is gonna come around, or just, you know, people in general get sick and stuff happens. Like, this is life. Like, if you have kids, if you're around kids, or if you're around the elderly, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You just need to be taking care of yourself no matter what, because I've told you guys, I will repeat this and repeat this and repeat this until it gets into everybody's head, is that you have to find balance and you have to heal yourself at this point. Like, there's definitely still opportunities for medication and stuff like that, but listen, the more we can help our bodies heal, the better off we are going to be. And so we need to start getting used to that and practicing it now, while we can still get the medical care that we need. So that is priority. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys in the next video on some tricks and tips that you can be doing to kind of help yourself a little bit. You know, we've talked about things like the garlic honey, but that's something that has to be pre-done. What I'm going to talk about next is not something that necessarily needs to be pre-done. You do always have to do your own research. You know, work with, I have an acupuncturist. You guys find someone that you can work with, or if you're skilled or you want to be skilled, make sure that you're taking the courses that you need to understand alternative medicines and how nature heals, because that's really important, and a lot of people are missing that in their life, is healing. I also wanted to show you guys real quick, because I was out here just enjoying the beauty of this garden. That is just one of my favorite things to do, honestly. Like, we went out yesterday on the boat and the jet ski, and our lake is so full of just vegetation from people that spray their yards. We do not spray our yards with chemicals to keep the grass lush and green. If weeds grow, weeds grow. Like, I'm not that person that's going to be out here destroying the earth. Like, a lot of that stuff leaks out into the lake. It leaches into the lake water and the canals, and what happens is it creates overgrowth for our lake environment, and that's exactly what's happened. Across the street from us, we have a subdivision that requires them to basically keep up with their HOA and CDDs and all that stuff, and there has to be like a pristine level to them, you know what I mean? Like, they got to be bougie, and that's not life. Like, listen, it's good to keep and have a nice yard maintained and whatever, but at the end of the day, these chemicals are affecting our lake and waterways, which is creating abundance of overgrowth. And our jet ski was just getting sucked up with a bunch of weeds. The weeds were so bad that I could not get them out. And I had to flag my fiance down. He saw me, I was standing out on the jet ski, and I was just flagging him down, and I was like, hey, you gotta come get me, come get me. So he drove the pontoon out to me, and he couldn't get the weeds out either. We had to, well, he did end up getting the weeds out, but it was a lot more difficult, and he's a strong guy. So that's what I'm saying, like, you're killing the environment. So try to find ways that you're not damaging the environment, that's for sure. But anyway, so on days that I'm not out on the water or spending time with the kids or doing other stuff that needs to be done, I thoroughly, absolutely enjoy just obviously spending time in the garden. It is therapeutic for me, and I hope it's therapeutic for you guys, and that's why you guys are doing it. It's also good for the body. Remember, the approach to good mental health is a holistic approach. It encompasses so many aspects, and that a lot of therapists leave out in their practices because they're not skilled to really communicate with you guys and tell you all what you need to be doing. They will, of course, and they can say, you know, eat healthier, get some exercise, those, you know, do your deep breathing. That's kind of stuff that we're trained for in the field. But reality is you need to practice it too. That's how I feel. Like, I can't be a good leader if I'm not showing and implementing to you guys what this means. And you know, you can't preach to people and say, hey, you know, do this, this, and this, when you're not doing it yourself. If you're tired and exhausted when you come home, listen, I'm tired and exhausted too. I work 2 jobs. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but you know what, at the end of the day, this is beauty, this is health, this is wellness. Like I said, we're having some time out in the water, which is relaxation. You got to find ways to encompass this. And I know people say, Kristen, I don't have the life that you have. I respect that, and I get that. You have to create a different life. You have to find a way to make this happen, even if that means that you get a green stock. Now, the green stock's not for me because I pay more attention to what's going on out here in this beautiful world. And so my mom got the green stock. I mean, like, look at that. Like, over here, we've got some kale going on. I mean, there's still mustard greens that are popping up on their own. I've got tomatoes, nasturtium, banana, broccoli, we've got green beans, I've got squash, I've got the basils, I've got, you know, like, get a green stock, do some strawberries, do some stuff that will grow in that green stock if that's what you have the space for. If you don't, maybe work with your community. I've said that a million times. We've got within our community, you can go up to our rec centers and you can participate in garden, like, learning and classes and stuff like that. Go to your local libraries if you have the opportunity. I mean, or just get out in a park. I know if you live like in maybe a city and you don't really have this, or you have an apartment and you're still dreaming of a life like this. I have a friend who lives in a 55 and up community. And so, you know, honestly, like, a grow stock works better for her. She can't do this, but that doesn't mean that you can't be growing these things. Like, we can find a way to make this work for you. When there's, you know, a will, there's a way, right? So that's what I'm saying. And right now, in today's day and age, it's so wild, man. It really is. Every day there's something new that just keeps popping up that just blows my mind. But I think we're living in prophetic times. I think that, I'm not saying it's the end, but I'm saying it may be the end of something as we know it. You know, and every day AI just keeps increasing, and you know, there's so much that we could talk about, but we have to find peace and beauty in the world. We've got to find love, and you know, that's really what this weekend is about. Is a reflection of love that our living God gave to us. And so I want you all to just appreciate, even if you don't believe in a higher power, I respect that, but appreciate Mother Earth, appreciate the food that's put on your table, have gratitude, have love, you know, keep a good heart. And that's really important in our society. We really need that right now. So many people are hurting, so many people are broken, so many people are losing their homes because they've overextended themselves, because they watch these people, they think they need this bougie lifestyle, they think that they need to keep up with the Joneses, and you don't. You need to do what makes you happy and what brings you peace, and that will keep you settled, hopefully, and that will keep your head right. And you know, that's what I'm saying. There's just so many people that are broken right now. Like, a majority of the time, instead of communicating about the death, we're communicating just honestly about general life right now, because that's really the prevalent topic. Is I don't feel well. I've been sick, all this stuff. Speaking about sick, my brother and his family, the boys, everybody, that's what I was trying to get to earlier, ADHD, have the norovirus. Man, that's crazy, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying, there's always something happening. So we've been getting back to the garden here. We have been working on these cabbage leaves. I told you guys, I put it out in one of my last videos, is an easy way to be utilizing those bottom leaves is to be using them in wraps. And so I made some wraps for my parents, I made wraps for the kids, I made wraps for everybody. So because the kids didn't come over because they're sick, I ended up calling my parents and told them to come over and pick up the wraps. My parents loved the wraps. So I'm gonna post a video and show you guys on how to make those wraps. It's really important that you guys are just finding ways to utilize what is in your garden so that way you can save money at the store, because that's the goal, right? All right, so this was just a really brief, just touch base, come back to the table, fellowship with you all, and just let you know that I'm thinking about you, praying for you. We are living in crazy times. Save your money, do the best you can, and just have love for people, right? That's what we got to be doing right now, is just sending that good energy and that good vibe out to everyone, and know that I am thinking of each and every one of you. I'm praying for each and every one of you, and I'm sending that love through the universe to you right now as we speak. So until next time, my friends, love one another, be kind, and I cannot wait to see you guys back out in the garden. We're gonna be hitting it hard. We're gonna be doing what we gotta do out here, and we're gonna have a good time while we're doing it. All right, I'll see you guys real soon. All right, so here's your bonus, not bonus. Since everybody's dealing with the norovirus in my family, except my fiance and I, and my parents, thank God they're still doing well, even though we've all been around the kids or whatever. So we're not doing Easter. So I just went out to the garden, and we're just gonna do our collard greens, our cabbage greens, which, look at all those cabbage greens. There's still more laying here. I'm gonna cook them just like I cook the collard greens. I'm just gonna, because the leaf is a little bit tougher, so I'm just gonna peel them off. You can cut it with a pair of scissors if you want, but make it bite size for the most part. Some people take scissors to them or a knife and they just like fine chop them. Whatever you feel is best for you and your family. But that is what we're gonna be cooking, and that's what I'm saying. You gotta be prepping, you gotta be preparing, you gotta keep, you know, stuff that you are willing to eat. And I'm telling you, the underneath leaves of the cabbage, as I call them, there's still enough to protect the cabbage head, because that's kind of what they're there for. And a lot of people just don't eat them because they sit on that cabbage for so long while it's forming the head. But for us, like, we just decided, like, we try to eat them before the cabbage head kind of forms. And then I have to really pay attention because the cabbage worms will come in and will eat your cabbage heads, which we always have issues with bugs here anyway. So, I mean, you can see here, I washed them off. There was like a little worm. I'm sure it was a cabbage worm on the back of it. But that's what we're going to be eating. So it's an awesome meal because like I said, I didn't have to go to the grocery store and get it. I didn't have to wait for cabbages to actually come in. And this cabbage is so sweet and so delicious. So make sure you all are getting out there in the garden, and this is part of your mental health, is eating well. So I just want to bring that to you guys. And then, oh, you guys can't see, can you see? Yeah, right over there is, I made biscuits this morning. So we're gonna have biscuits again with our cabbage, quote unquote collards, because I'm cooking them like a collard, but cabbage greens today. And then my fiance wants some chicken wings, so that's what we're doing. And then we have strawberries for strawberry shortcake. So happy Easter, everyone. I hope you all stay blessed. Again, I'm praying for you. Stay healthy, stay well. I will see you guys real soon.